The sexual assault trial of 5 former World Junior hockey players started today in London, Ontario, and the day came to an abrupt end after a surprise adjournment just after the lunch break. CBC's Katie Nicholson has more details for us today from London. Katie, the opening statements began. What do we know about what happened in court?
Well, I can't really tell you about the adjournment. That is sort of protected by court order. What I can tell you is that there was an incident that occurred over the lunch break, and basically the lawyers and the jury, or the lawyers and the judge, had to sort of speak about that matter and deal with it outside of the jury, and which is why the jury was sent home, and they're continuing to work on that matter. But I can tell you that tomorrow the jury is expected back here, and court will resume later in the morning. But what we did get today was sort of the Crown's opening statement, essentially outlining the case. And what we heard from the Crown is that this is going to be a case that is about consent. Specifically, what is consent, but also what is not consent. So the Crown started with the agreed statement of facts. This all began in June of 2018. There was a Hockey Canada gala here in London. Some of the players went to a bar here in London where Michael McLeod, one of those players, met a woman whose identity is basically, it is protected by a court order. There is no disputing that they went back to his hotel room together, that they did have sex. But that sexual act is not a part of the trial, the Crown said. And this is where the Crown began to outline its case. It says it will present messages and evidence that Michael McLeod did invite others to the room without her consent to engage in sexual acts. It went into graphic detail about the 5 accused and the specific sexual assaults that are alleged to have occurred with this woman. It also sort of explained a little bit in this statement why it is Michael McLeod is also facing a second charge. He is the only one as a party to the offense. And that is because the Crown expects to present evidence, it says, that will show that McLeod had assisted or encouraged others to engage in sexual acts with the woman, even though the Crown says that there was no consent there given by the woman. So some clarity there around the case. We also learned that there will be quite a bit of video and text evidence coming out through these matters that have been sort of gathered and will be coming out in the next 8 weeks or so. So some clarity there on where it is that the Crown is going with this case. But you know, the defense, as often happens in Canadian cases, didn't offer a statement. Sometimes they reserve the right to actually offer a statement of defense a little bit later, but really allow cross-examination to do a lot of the work for them. And we have about a minute left. Beyond what you mentioned, where does the trial go from here? Well, there's certainly a lot of speculation about how difficult this can be with 5 accused, with 5 sets of lawyers. Certainly they are aligned in some matters, but ultimately it really comes down to each lawyer looking out for the best interests of their own client. I spoke to defense attorney Nick Cake here in London. He's nothing to do with the trial, but he sort of explained how that may work out in the trial. Here's Nick Cake.
Certainly, all these players are not playing together on the same team as it stands right now, because they're all interested, obviously collectively, in acquittals. But if it comes down to it, if one player is acquitted and 4 others go down, well, that's just how the system works. And each individual player needs to have their own individual interests in mind. They're no longer on a team.
And Ian, so much has been made of the fact that this woman's testimony, how credible she is going to be important. But we also learned today from the Crown that other teammates that were in that hotel room are expected to testify throughout this trial. So that will also be very key testimony to what happened that night, which is really what this trial is trying to determine.
Okay. Katie, thank you very much.